What's up, iWaited family? So I have another installment for you guys for the Virgin Chronicles, and this time I have my mentee.
Hello,
Cynthia. And so we met in, when did I start mentoring you?
It's really been a while.
13?
13? Yeah.
Has it been that long?
2013.
Oh my God, it's been almost 5 years. Oh, I found you when you were a baby. Oh my gosh. This is so sentimental for me, guys. I didn't realize it's been that long.
It has.
Oh, she's about to be a junior in college. I feel like a mom. No, but seriously, I started mentoring for this great organization in Miami, the Beautiful Beauties of Tomorrow, led by Jacqueline Lewis and Jadina Gustav. And so definitely check them out. Google that and check them out on the internet. And we've just had an adventure. I've actually never told Cynthia this, but when I started mentoring her, I was literally like in one of the hardest seasons of my life. Like literally, it was just like things that just seemed like they all went downhill. And I think having the opportunity to mentor her and we have to commit as mentors to do a monthly outing and just to kind of plan things for our mentees, and having to plan those things for her and just participate in her life helped to kind of lift me up in one of the hardest seasons of my life. When I don't cry. It really helped to lift me up seriously in one of the hardest seasons of my life, because I had to not focus on what I had going on and really focus on someone else and someone that was younger than me, and do some plan activities even when I like literally didn't have any money. It was just really a really hard time, and just being able to come outside of myself to do something for someone else really helped to lift me out of one of the hardest seasons of my life. So I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that she's doing this interview, because I've been hounding her forever. And
I'm here though.
You're here now. I guess that counts for something. She's here now. And we're just going to do this interview, and I'm really excited about what we're going to hear because we didn't rehearse this. So whatever comes out of her mouth is...
I apologize in advance.
Yes, she needs to apologize. She's one of the smartest Alex you will ever meet in your life. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Tell me your name, your age, what do you do, all that good stuff.
Well, my name is Cynthia Background. I'm 20 years old.
Oh my gosh, you're 20. I can't believe it.
I'm 20 years old.
You're not old, first of all.
Feels old, but I'm 20 years old, and I'm a full-time student at the illustrious Spelman College.
Spelman hand?
Don't hate. It's sharp. It's sharp.
I can't.
But yeah, I'm a full-time student. I'm a psychology major there. That's about it.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to be a psychologist, and then I want to go on into academia and teach family therapy or marriage counseling, that aspect, faith-based counseling, to be direct.
Okay. And so give us a little bit about your background, like were you raised in the church, that type of thing?
I was definitely raised in the church. I was raised in a single-parent household. My mom was very religious. We were in church pretty much almost every day, or doing something church related or God related pretty much every single day up until I went to college.
Okay. And so what has shaped your decision to remain a virgin and kind of keep yourself, especially you being 20 and a lot of your peers
aren't on that life?
Yeah.
Honestly, two things. The first thing I would have to say is me, it's just never been something that I was actively seeking. It's not that I didn't have the option to. It's not that I didn't know people that were having sex. It was just something that I didn't care to do. I believe in soul ties, and I was just wait, if I have sex, I'm taking on all the spirits that you've encountered, and it just gets really complex. And I was I'm not here for that. The second thing was the Beautiful Beauties of Tomorrow mentorship organization that you mentioned. I was a part of it. I was the first cohort of Beautiful Beauties, and 5 years ago when we started, they had the Purity Ball, and basically it was the time to abstain and like declare that you're going to abstain in front of God and the people that you allowed to be present for the ceremony. And we got a ring and we did like the whole creed and like presented ourselves and like we were represented to our families, and it just kind of stuck with me like this is a commitment that I'm going to make and I'm going to wait until marriage. Those two things combined kind of.
Okay, awesome. So one thing I know is we've had conversations about, you know, because a lot of your peers are not waiting, has there been any like, you know, kind of, I don't know if I want to call it backlash, but we have talked about conversations where, you know, something that happens is a lot of people take offense or take it personally when you express that you're waiting or you're a virgin as a personal attack. I don't know why. On their own personhood, which is not. It's just, it's our personal decision, her personal decision to remain a virgin. And so have you experienced people, you know, coming at you a certain way because you're vocal about the fact that you're a virgin and you're waiting, and you know you have beliefs in God, and you're very strong in your faith. So have you experienced that?
For me, I personally, like, I really don't care about other people's opinions.
That is not what I'm asking you.
I know, when it comes to that. So I never take it, like, personally if someone's like, oh, why? That makes no sense, or it's not that deep. Simply because for me, it's, like, a decision that I made. Especially going to the school that I go to, they promote sexual liberation and, like, being confident in yourself. And I also feel like part of sexual liberation is me not wanting to, like, I'm liberated enough to not want to do it.
Right. That's good.
I know some people, they take it like, oh, you're not free, you're corrupted by the church. But no, I serve a God that is amazing, and part of my journey with him is this aspect. The backlash hasn't been that prevalent in my walk, simply because it's not something that I'm hiding or something that I'm ashamed of. I remember I had one conversation with one of my friends, and like at the place, and I learned now that like at the place she was in her life, it made sense that it was seen as something negative or me coming down on her, which I wasn't. She just didn't understand the full context of what it means to abstain, because when people hear purity, they associate it with sex, and therefore if they're having sex, they're not pure, when purity is more than sex. So her not understanding that, it's really hard to have a conversation with ignorance. But now that she's in a place in her life where she understands where I'm coming from, she's able to grow in her faith walk. So
okay, awesome. So with, and I've talked about this in other interviews, with a lot of virgins, I noticed that some of them get into a place where they fall into pornography or different types of things, although they aren't having, you know, vaginal or penile sex or whatever. They do other things to, you know, kind of satisfy those urges. So have you ever experienced falling into like pornography or anything like that in your walk of purity?
I have, simply because it's very easy for you to look at what other people are doing, and when you're like not of the world but you're in the world, it's very easy to be like influenced by it. And I know for me, it took a lot of like conviction and like prayer. Like, I don't want that for my life. I don't want to open the door to different things, because in Job 9, literally I was just going over that in Sunday school. They were talking about how, like, how do you reason with God? Because I know a lot of people, they use their virginity as a weapon. Like, I'm not having sex, therefore, like, what's porn? Like, if I watch porn, it's nothing. Or if I'm sneaking off or going into different things that are not of God, it's like, but I could be having sex, so it's not that bad. And I really had to, like, reframe and, like, retrain myself to not see my virginity as a weapon or as a leverage to do things that aren't of God. So.
Oh, that's really good. That's really, really good. So not using your virginity or your purity or your reclaiming your virginity as a weapon to say, hey, I'm not doing this, but God, I can do, you know, whatever, something else. Yeah, that's outside of your will, just because this one part of my life obeys you and then the other part of my life is a hot mess.
So I had to like really learn that, and that really comes from practice and like surrounding myself with people like you, the iWaited blog, like everything that you do, and being part of mentorship programs and having examples of people that waited and people that are celibate. It kind of trains you, like, if I want what God has for me, I can't necessarily do my own thing and still expect expect to reap the benefits.
Right. So. Yeah. Listen, you're very wise. Thanks for a little 20-year-old.
Thank you.
I can't believe you're 20.
I know, right?
But no, that is very true. We want so much to reap the benefits of what God has for us and get all of these amazing things, but we're not willing to obey him in so many parts of our lives. And, you know, I've experienced that and still experience that sometimes, because I know there are things, you know, God asked me to do or ways he asked me to obey him. And I'm like, no, I do want that you told me that you're going to give me, but I don't want to do this part. Like, can I do something else? Can I go around?
Reason with God?
I know. How do you reason with God, right? Yeah. I don't know. I think it's human nature, but I really believe that following God takes you through this process where he breaks down those your own will in order for you to kind of forge and conform to his will. Because ultimately, you cannot get anything that's God-led, that's God-given, that's God produced without following God, without obeying him, without actually surrendering to him. So, that was good. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So is your desire to ultimately be married?
Yes.
Okay. And so I think sometimes one of the misconceptions is that people who remain virgins or, you know, remain single for a time, that they don't want to get married or that they don't have a desire, or they're like, what is that? Well, that's not the same thing. Asexual?
Yeah.
I was about to say pansexual.
No,
it's
asexual.
So many sexual words. I don't even know the differences anymore. But, you know, they kind of think you're asexual, where you don't like man or woman, or you're not interested in anybody. And that's not true. Just because someone chooses to save themselves doesn't mean that they don't want to get married. And I mean, I hope she gets married out of college. Yes, I pray that over you. I bless you.
I receive it.
Yes.
I'm single.
She is single. And she's smart. That is not jokes. She is smart. She is ambitious. She's very tell it like it is. She has very dry humor.
I do. It's really bad.
It's really bad. She's very sarcastic, but she is loving. So you have to go through me. I really have to vet the men that that want to court her. I'm not playing though.
The test is not me, it's her.
I'm very serious. Listen, she will tell you if anything happens. I'll be like, you want me to talk to them? Somebody tried to play her about her prom dress. I was like, no, I'm gonna contact them. Give me their phone number. I'm not playing. I don't play. So it's for real, I'm really gonna vet you. I'm not playing. Okay. Alrighty. So do you know any other virgins that are waiting? And how is that number compared to like the people that aren't waiting?
I do know quite a few people that are waiting. I don't know if they're necessarily waiting until marriage in terms of all of them, but we are definitely outnumbered when it comes to those that are having sex and those that aren't, whether it's lack of opportunity, whether it's a conscious decision or not. But yeah, we're outnumbered.
Okay. I mean, unfortunately, but I think there are way more people waiting than we think. And I meet a lot of people like that are waiting, and the only reason we don't see it as much is because people don't talk about it. But I think there are way more people waiting than we think, and there's even an app now. I was talking to the app founder, right? Yeah. The app founder called the Wait Up app, where there's like a community of people that are abstaining and that are virgins, that are walking in purity. And so there are communities popping up everywhere, and there's the Pinky Promise movement. There's iWaited blog, where there's just different communities that are popping up to kind of just form a kind of band together and come together and say, hey, I'm waiting, you're waiting, let's encourage each other. I've started, now I'm going to be doing beach conversations in Miami for singles. I want to include men as well, so I don't know if men will come out, but I'll include the men as well, just to kind of have conversations and have groups of accountability in the waiting process. So yeah, that's it. Would you describe yourself as surviving or thriving in this season of singleness?
I will definitely say both.
Okay.
Simply because like I'm thriving in the fact that I'm still a virgin 5 years in. But there's moments where I'm just surviving, where it's like, God, I don't have a man. I want to have sex. Like, I want to not be of this world, but it's so easy to just be like, well, everyone else is doing it, and to like start to question like who I am in Christ and why I'm making the covenant. But then at the same time, it's like I made it for a reason. I'm pretty sure God has greater than just for me to have like meaningless hookups. So more thriving than surviving. But.
Okay. And do you feel like you're open to dating and open to like men approaching you?
I don't feel like I'm not open. I just feel like you said, I'm very blunt and like straightforward, and I don't do foolishness. Like, if you want to talk to me, be intentional, like, simply because I don't want to date anyone that's like not where I'm at, when it makes sense. Like, for me to date someone that is not willing to be celibate, like, we're not compatible. Bible says be equally yoked, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm open to it. I haven't found anyone that I'm like really interested in talking to, but if it happens, it happens.
Okay, so would you want to marry another virgin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So then that's very specific. So if a man is not
no, I'm not closed off to dating someone that isn't a virgin.
Okay, but you would ultimately want to marry a virgin, but if God sent you someone that wasn't a virgin,
yeah,
you would be open to it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make that clear. Okay, just in case there's anybody watching that's interested. She would date you if you're not a virgin, but you have to be willing to abstain. Okay. All right.
That's pretty much it.
So how would you encourage other virgins that are waiting in their waiting process?
Community is a big thing. I feel like if you find the group of people that will keep you accountable, people that know where you are in your faith walk, then it's very easy for you to like kind of check yourself and have other people check you, like, hey, I see you're going in this direction, or let me pray for you. I think it's a blessing to have friends that pray for you. I know for me, like, if I call my certain friends, they'll be like, real quick. I know one friend in particular, like, if I call her with something, she's like, did you pray on it? Call me back when you're done praying on it. And then she'll go and pray for me. So the accountability, the prayer, and also seeking God wholeheartedly and being able to know who you are in Him and what you can and cannot allow.
Okay, that's good. And so what are some of the practical steps you've taken to kind of, keep yourself guarded in terms of being a virgin and kind of guarding your space?
I know a big thing for me, like, especially when I was younger and I wasn't really allowed to date, was phone conversations where you're like, oh, let's wait up until our parents go to sleep, or when no one's around to talk. Like, I'm very quick. I do not have late night conversations because it's only going in one direction. Like, what do you need to talk to me at 1 o'clock in the morning for? You don't. So honestly, like that, like stopping the late night phone conversations, not putting myself in positions where like I feel like I would be tempted. What else? Guarding my eyes, what I see on social media, different things like that. I'm the queen of block. You're blocked. If I see some foolery or something that's not of God, or something that would even cause me to think otherwise.
That's good. That's good. So we'll kind of close out with this. What would you say to people who are virgins? That's the first part. To encourage them in their walk of purity. And then what would you say to people who aren't virgins and, maybe kind of feel like they can't start now with their abstinence walk?
So people that are virgins, being that we are out there, find your community, dig deeper into the word and what it says about purity and sex and different things like that to remind you when you falter or when you sway in your walk of purity. And for those that are on the fence about abstaining or celibacy and different things like that, just try it out. Honestly, like, I feel like if you take that first step, then it'll be easier to take the next step, and then to like sow into your community, different things like that, and removing things that again would cause you to sway on your fresh journey.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to close out, and and I will let me pause right here. I'm gonna put the deep in here. I'm gonna cut this out. Okay, so we're going to close out, and Cynthia, do you have anything that you have going on that you want to share with the readers? She does have a YouTube channel.
Why would you do that?
Well, you need to. Hello.
Okay, so my YouTube channel is Sincerely Cynthia. It's Sincerely, Cyn, Sincerely. So that's how I spelled it. No pun intended.
I'll put it down. This girl
Play
said
on words.
Cyn sincerely.
Yeah,
Really?
Cyncierely.
Okay.
There it is.
All right. Thank you. Please spell the whole right alphabet.
What else? You can follow me on social media. Sincerely Cynthia as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So I enjoyed this interview with my mentee.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. She's such a special. She's like my little baby. Listen, and she doesn't like affection.
We're working on it.
We are working on it.
She's
She's getting better. You have gotten a lot better. You have. That's awesome.
Hey,
praise the name of Jesus. But yeah, I thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please comment below, like, share, subscribe. We have t-shirts, so you can go to shop.spreadshirt.com/iWaited blog. There's the devotional. You guys know I wrote a 21-day purity devotional, 21 days of prayer and purity. It's available on Amazon.com, so in the physical copy, Kindle copy. And what else? Go to the blog, www.iwaitedblog.com. And yeah, there are so many things going on. If you're in the Miami area, every second Friday evening, I'll be having what I call beachy conversations on the beach. Anyone that knows me knows I love the beach. And I will go to Eventbrite, search Beachy Conversations, and we'll go from there. Just register. It's free. We'll have light refreshments, and just kind of have a way to, have accountability and just have conversations around relationships and dating and other conversations as well. And I'm really excited about what God is doing for the blog, and just make sure to subscribe and check out all the other videos that are on the channel as well. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Yeah.